Okay, just made a fresh cup of coffee, ready for question number 6. And in this one, we are going to enter into the realm of compound interest. So we look over this question, we start picking out the numbers 1700, see something about a 2-year, 1.22%, and then we see compounded quarterly. We are no longer in the world of simple interest. So we're compounding. So the formula we're going to be using is going to be this one down here. This is the compound interest formula. These are with payments, and so we have this question, we're not making a payment, so we'll just use the compound interest formula. Oops, once I get here. Clear that stuff off. Cursor, and we'll take this out. Okay, so that's the formula we're going to be using. We'll write it down here. Accumulated value equals the principal 1 plus. Now, we just had RT when it was simple interest. It's R divided by N, which is the number of periods per year for compounding. So quarterly compounding N is going to be 4. Remember, this formula has an exponent in T. Okay, highlight our numbers again. Assuming no withdrawals are made, how much money is John's account after 2 years? So how much money is in the account? We need the accumulated value. How much interest is earned on John's investment? We do not calculate the interest directly. We take how much the total amount earned and subtract what was put in. Okay, so we'll do this first one. With this one, I'll show you how you can use the TVM solver, but we'll start with this formula since we've got it up here. So the accumulated is going to be the amount that he deposited, and we're going just to have to assume that he took his whole bonus. You know, if it were me, I would have spent some of it, maybe most of it, maybe all of it. Anyway, but John's investing it. 1700, that's the P. 2-year certificate, that's the time, 2 years. Okay, you can take the money out early, but oftentimes they give you penalties if you don't keep it in there for the full 2 years. Okay, and this is going to be our rate. Remember, up here we do rate as a decimal, so divide by 100, 0.0122. And then we've already talked about the number of periods, that there are 4 quarters in a year. So P1, and remember that 1 represents 100% of the principal that you get back. Not all investing has that. You can lose money with some investments. The rate is 0.0122, which is a very low interest rate, but again, it's a very secure investment. You're going to get all your money back plus a little bit more. And then we divide that by 4. Up in the exponent, we take 4 times the number of years, which is 2. Now, depending upon your calculator, you may need a parentheses around that to make sure that's all up there in the exponent. I'm going to use the Alex calculator, which I actually recommend you do as well, because it's got some nice features and it's readily available. It's not going to run out of batteries or do something strange on you. At least we hope not. Okay, so we're just going to enter this in. 1,700 parentheses 1 plus, and I've seen many of you gotten pretty good at doing this, probably better than me, but let's see, 0.0122, okay, there we go, divided by, guess how good, gives me that, 4, and then to take our mouse, click over here, and then put the parentheses. That's good. And then we're going to do an exponent. The exponent is x to the y. So this will give us our exponent. There it is up there. And we can just put in 4 times 2. Now, I could put parentheses as well up here. And if you're using a different calculator, you might need to make sure that everything's, that 4 times 2 is up in the exponent. Or just do it in your head and put a 8 up there. Either way will work. So this should calculate our accumulated value, not just the interest, the accumulated value. So $1,741.93 if we round it, right? Which we're supposed to do. In the end, don't round the while you're doing the calculations. And of course, we did this all in one fell swoop. Round that to 93. And so that's going to be the answer to our first question. How much money is in Jack's account? And then how much interest is earned? Well, this includes both the deposit and the interest. So to get just the interest, we subtract off 1,700. So this is the A part of the question. The B part is going to be down here. This is going to be 3,914. That's zero. Not a lot of interest, but again, it was secure. And he got all his money back. So 1,000, Alex likes commas. Then the interest itself is just $41.93. Let's see. How did I do that? There we go. It's back. Okay. So that's question number 6, our first delving into compound interest. Oh, I said I was going to show you how to do it with the TVM solver, and I will. Okay, so the same information's here. Let me actually, for the TVM solver, I'm just going to bring in the calculator here, and so we're going to basically do the same thing. We turn it on. Let me show you how to get to this. You've got your calculator on. There's this button that says apps. On mine it's purple. It's usually slightly different colored, but it's 3 from the top and 2 over. There's your apps button. You may have a list of more things, but all of them have finance at the top. You'll just hit enter. And what we're going to use is a TVM solver. So hit enter. Now you may have numbers in there. It doesn't matter. We're going to replace them all. So the N is the total number of periods. That's kind of like where that comes from, is it's this exponent. It's the number of times per year times the number of years. So for this one, since we're compounding quarterly, it's going to be 4 times 2, the number of years. And what's cool with this calculator is you can just enter 4 times 2. When you hit enter, it does the calculation for you. Now, the one thing that's different is when you get to the interest rate, you just put 1.22. You don't put in a decimal equivalent. So that's what's nice about the TVM solver, 1.22%. PV, well, that's our present value, our principal value if you want, 1,700. So just like we're plugging in here. The payment, there is no payment, so we leave that as 0. Future value, that's what we're going to solve for, so we leave that. And then the last thing we have to do is these payments per year and compounding per year. Well, we know quarterly, that's 4. So that's the value of N. And notice once I enter the first one, it automatically enters the second. And now using this, I go back to future value. That's what I want to calculate. And it's hard to see here, but there's a green solve right above the enter key. So I want to use the enter key as a solve. So to do the green thing, I have to hit the green button. So I do alpha, enter, and notice it's solved on there. And it got exactly the same value we did, 1741.93 if we round it up. Then I can't use this part of the calculator to get the second part. I still have to subtract the two. So to do that, I have to go second quit, back to the regular part of the calculator, take my 1741.93, subtract off the 1700, and hit enter, and I've got my 4193. So that's how you can use the TVM solver or the formulas. Either way to arrive at the same values. And Alex isn't grading you on your methods, it's simply grading you on the correct answers. So use either way that's more comfortable for you. We're going to move on to question 7 and keep up the good work. Remember, if you like any of these, if you found any of these little videos helpful, click the like button. It helps me know which was good, and I guess there's not an unlike button, but you can talk to me about it in class if there's something that I did that wasn't so good. Okay, thanks.